In this video, we are going to show you all the drinks that the Delonghi Magnifica Evo coffee machine can make. If you want to know more about this coffee machine in detail, you'll find links in the description and comments of this video to learn about all its features and maintenance. But in this video, we will focus mainly on showcasing all the recipes this coffee machine can prepare. This way, you'll be able to discover each drink as if you were trying the machine at home. The Delonghi Magnifica Evo can prepare the following recipes: Espresso, coffee, long coffee, hot water for infusions, cappuccino, latte macchiato, and the My Latte option. Now, let's take a look at how each recipe is prepared and what characteristics each one has. If you agree, let's start by seeing how it prepares an espresso. We simply need to press the espresso button on the top panel, and as you can see, the machine will begin grinding the coffee beans to prepare this recipe. In this case, the machine will use between 8 and 10 grams of coffee beans to prepare the drink. This will depend on the intensity we set for the coffee beans using the control panel. If we choose a more intense coffee, the machine will use a larger amount of beans. As you probably already know, espresso coffee is characterized by using a small amount of water to achieve a more intense coffee taste. In this case, the machine is pre-configured to use 40 milliliters of water, although it can be adjusted to use between 20 and 180 milliliters to suit our tastes. As you can see, the coffee has a very nice color and the typical crema layer that is characteristic of this type of drink. The next recipe is what Delonghi calls coffee in its models. As you'll see, in this case, the machine will use the same amount of coffee beans as it does for an espresso, but it will add much more water to the preparation. Specifically, this drink is pre-configured to serve 180 milliliters of water, though it can be adjusted to serve between 100 and 240 milliliters. This type of coffee, being diluted with a larger amount of water, has a much milder taste than espresso. As you can see, this recipe makes a rather long coffee and is quite similar to the next recipe we'll look at, which Delonghi calls long. If you like to drink American-style coffee, I think this recipe will suit your tastes quite well. Technically, we cannot call this recipe American coffee, because what is done in this type of recipe is first serving an espresso and then adding a large amount of water without coffee. In this case, the recipe infuses the same amount of coffee for quite a while, but the result is quite similar to preparing American coffee. Personally, I miss having a recipe that allows me to prepare a long espresso rather than recipes with so much water. And here we have it, our coffee. As you can see, it also has a nice color and a good crema layer, even though it's more diluted. Now, let's see the recipe Delonghi calls long. As you will see, the preparation is quite similar to the previous one. The difference is that, in this case, halfway through the preparation, as you can see now, the machine makes a new load of coffee beans. This means it uses twice the amount of coffee as in the previous preparation, which will give us a more intense long coffee. In this case, the drink is pre-configured to use 160 milliliters of water, less than the previous drink, though it can also be adjusted to serve between 115 and 250 milliliters. And here you can see the result. If you look closely, it's a bit shorter than the previous drink, and as we mentioned, you'll notice a more intense taste because it has a double load of coffee beans. Next, we will start with the milk-based recipes and prepare a cappuccino. This drink is characterized by using a similar proportion of frothed milk and coffee, thus achieving a milk drink with a stronger coffee flavor. As you can see, the machine works by first serving the milk and then the coffee. Purists would say that this is not the typical way of preparing a cappuccino, but this is how the machine works and it can't be changed. Nonetheless, the result is very similar to what we would get if we did it the other way around. Another thing to note is that this system for preparing milk-based drinks is compatible with both animal and plant-based milk. In this case, we are using cow's milk, but the result is just as good when using plant-based milk. And here you can see our delicious cappuccino with that fluffy and inviting foam layer. Another drink this model offers is the Latte Macchiato. The main difference compared to the cappuccino we just saw is that, in this case, the recipe is made with a significantly larger amount of milk than coffee, resulting in a milder drink. As you can see, like in the previous drink, the machine serves the frothed milk first and then the coffee. Here, I'll also mention another detail I hadn't mentioned before. As you'll see in all the drinks, there's quite a bit of foam, and this is something that cannot be adjusted with this model. There are other more expensive Delonghi models that include a latte crema system for preparing drinks, which does include this feature, but not the Delonghi Magnifica Evo. And here we have our fantastic Latte Macchiato. Let's place it next to the cappuccino we made earlier. As you can see, the difference is what we mentioned, the amount of milk in each drink. Finally, the My Latte option will allow you to prepare a recipe with the amount of milk you prefer. This function simply uses all the milk you put in the container. For example, this will allow you to make a small cappuccino, like the one we have here. Keep in mind that this option requires a minimum amount of milk, like the one we're using now, so this function will let you make a small cappuccino but not an espresso macchiato or cortado. And here we have it, our fantastic drink with a customized amount of milk using the My Latte option. Finally, we just need to look at the hot water for infusions. To make this preparation, we need to remove the latte crema system and insert this hot water dispenser, which comes as an accessory with the Magnifica Evo. And as you can see, the machine starts dispensing hot water so we can easily prepare our favorite infusion. It's also worth mentioning that the water comes out quite hot, so you won't have any issues preparing your favorite infusion. And here you have our infusion, all ready. And we've now seen all the drinks this model can prepare. Remember that on our channel you'll find many other videos on this and other similar coffee machines. We hope the video helped clear up any questions about the drinks the Delonghi Magnifica can prepare. See you in the next video.